is doing very well. And today I'll be talking about the contraction called Nigeria. First of all, I wonder whoever thought in their own right thinking mind that Nigeria is the giant of Africa. And I'm wondering, what does giant mean? Obviously, giant means something big. Now, if you say Nigeria is the giant of Africa because of the size of the country, yes, you're right. If you say Nigeria is the giant of Africa because of the population, yes, you're right. But if you ever think that Nigeria is the giant of Africa because of the example that's set for other African countries to follow, you failed woefully. And the reason why I'm saying this for a couple of reasons. The white man came to Nigeria, and to be precise, the English came to Nigeria and colonized Nigeria. And after colonizing us, or after putting us in bondage, like how I like to put it, they didn't leave. They went back to their country to control Nigeria from there, obviously. But after they left, we still kept the name Nega area. Whereas we have some countries in Africa, countries like Burkina Faso, that France gave Upper Volta, and they changed to Burkina Faso. Ghana was given Gold Coast, they changed it to Ghana. Cote d'Ivoire was given Ivory Coast, they changed it to Cote d'Ivoire. Now we have countless countries in Africa that changed their name. They changed their name after the white man left. Why are we still keeping that name, Nigga area? Now, the reason why I don't call that a country and the reason why I call it a contraction is this. It's only in Nigeria that the impossible happened. Recently, we have our federal government negotiating with terrorists, and they are so slow to react, or they're not decisive in their decision making, or they can't even call this terrorists. They call them bandits. They call them criminals. Whereas these guys have been blacklisted, the fourth most dangerous terrorist group in the world. But somehow, somewhere, our federal government cannot call them terrorists. Somehow, somewhere, they are bandits. The people that have kidnapped, maimed, killed people for how many years? And you can't proscribe them. But yet, you're so quick to prescribe IPOB, people that are only fighting for self-determination, which they have the right to. You prescribe to them. Because the kind of politics we play in that contraction is politics of ethnicity. People favor people from their own region. So because Fulani headsmen are Muslims, because a lot of them are Fulanis, or all of them are Fulanis, they can't be prescribed because the people running the affairs of the government are Fulanis. They can't be prescribed. But yet the people that are not even fighting with arms, that are not even killing people, can be tagged as a terrorist because they threaten the existence of a contraction that has already expired. For those of you that don't know, Nigeria was legal from 1914 to 2014. That country is running as an illegal entity at the moment. We glorify terrorism, we reward terrorism, and we reward kidnappers. So now, I wonder why we can't reward every other kidnappers. Why are we rewarding only Fulani headsmen? If we can remember Evans. Evans kidnapped, maimed, and killed people, but he was sentenced to prison because he's not Fulani. And we have a lot of people that have been sent to prison because they are not Fulani. But these Fulanis can kill, maim people, take people's land, live in the forest, do whatever they want, and nobody can proscribe them because they are Fulanis. Let me tell you all, that is not a nation. That is not even a country. And for people that calls Nigeria Federal Republic, what is Why? What does that name even mean when you think about it? Nigeria is not a federal republic. It's a failed state. A country where the only thing that qualifies you to run for presidency is where you're from, not what you can do, not your manifesto. And every 4 years, people clamor, oh, it's our turn, it's your turn, it's their turn. Arrogance nonsense. I've lived in Switzerland, and in Switzerland, you have 4 languages. And always the leadership of that country rotates around. So you don't have to fight for it. The French know when it's their turn, German know when it's their turn, Italians know when it's their turn, and the little part of Switzerland that speak Romanish know when it's their turn to be in government. But in Nigeria, every other 4 years, people come out to say, it's our turn, it's our turn. And we, the docile population, we forget what is more important during election. What is more important is for politicians to come up with their manifesto to tell you what they are going to do, what they can achieve. But what these rogues do all the time is to tell you that they're going to build road, they will give you food, they will give you rice. Can you imagine how blind our population are? And yet we think we're wise people. I will give us credit to a lot of things that we've achieved when it comes to entertainment, obviously number one. When it comes to some things, obviously we're number one. But when it comes to right thinking mind, that has to do with right, when it comes to think right, with things that have to do with politics, listen, we're still living like we don't understand what is going on. Everybody is quiet. Stakeholders that are supposed to be speaking are quiet. We have a Senate that can't even legislate right and bring one law into action. We have a Senate that are scared of the executive. We have a Senate president that is as fragile as a little baby. Every time you see him in the Senate House, he's always trying to push the agenda of the executive. And sometimes I look at it like Nollywood. To be honest, it's a movie. It's a movie. Every day, people die in that country. The life of people don't mean anything anymore. People are kidnapped. Women are raped. Children are kidnapped from school. No safety anywhere. And yet, somebody is rewarding these terrorists for their activities. That man called Sheikh Gumi is the most useless person living in the space of Nigeria. And yet people are clapping for him, going to negotiate with terrorists, making excuses for them why they are terrorists. So in that way, because of that, everybody should carry arms in Nigeria. Because why are people going to hold back? Why are people going to be reasonable while you're rewarding unreasonable people? And you want people to be reasonable and become the workforce, work for you to use taxpayers' money to go to support terrorists and the organization? Nigeria is a failed state. And for people that can't see that and still hoping that somehow, some way, one day Nigeria will be better, you're done. The country is done. You have a country that is actually encouraging terrorism, and the people that call some of the Boko Haram insurgents or some of the Boko Haram fighters that people claimed they repented, they are pushing them into Nigerian army. And what do you think will happen in the next 10 years? In the next 10 years, our army will be full of terrorists. The thing people don't understand is that you can't rehabilitate a terrorist. You cannot rehabilitate a terrorist, because once they have the opportunity, they will strike again. A terrorist cannot repent, and you're pushing them into Nigerian army. And some of the well-meaning Nigerians can't even be selected. And yet, the people you call repented Boko Haram members, you're pushing them into Nigerian army. Well, I don't think the country will last for another 10 years. But let me tell you the strategy and the things that these people are doing. They're gradually forming military alliance. No reasonable person will rehabilitate a terrorist and put them into their army. No reasonable person will do that. It's only people that are planning for destruction that will do that. The only way, in my own opinion, is to divide the country. Because if our politics is still going to be based on politics of ethnicity and favoritism, it makes no sense to be together. And we introduce youth service. After people finish their university, they go and serve the nation. And in that way, we can train our children to be together, or, teach them, how to get along with each other. But that hasn't worked, because when did we start this youth service? We started a long time ago. But has it yielded positive results? The answer is no. It hasn't yielded positive results, because people still grow up to hate themselves. So you see, there is no remedy. Because the reason why the country is like that, it's like when you are erecting a building and you don't do the foundation right. And when you get to the roof of the building, you want to start making amends. It's too late. The country will collapse. The building will collapse. Because it's too late. The foundation was not right. The foundation of Nigeria was built under ethnicity, was built under hate, was built under favoritism, was built under, it's our turn. We're meant to rule. We are born to rule. And you think that ideology that has been sold for a very long time will be wiped away somehow, some way. A lot of people are clamoring for restructuring. But what will restructuring do? If you restructure, you're only changing things. And if that will be the case, for people to have, regional governance and all of that. But are you going to rehabilitate the mind of the people? Are you going to restructure the mind of the people? The truth is that we can never live in peace together. I was born in Jos and I grew up in Jos. And growing up in Jos, I have the luxury of traveling to some states in the north, and obviously the fracas and tension in the north didn't start today. It has been there. As a matter of fact, the fights that broke out in Jos in 2001, a lot of people tag it to be riots, but that was more than riot. It was a mini war. I saw how we cannot live together. It's not possible for that country to be together. It's not possible. If you're thinking along that direction, you're only wasting your time. And if you're thinking along that direction, it's because you haven't lost somebody in the struggle. If you've lost somebody, you're beloved in this contraction called Nigeria, all because of all in the name of keeping the country one, and all in the name of Nigerian unity is not negotiable, then you will understand what I understand. Then you feel how I feel. Listen, that country should cease to exist. That's my own opinion. Good morning.